This is the story of how my Uber driver attempted to abduct me, and stay tuned because shit gets crazy.
Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, and if you're new here, and I'm super excited to tell you guys this story, although it's not a very fun story, it is pretty interesting, and it all takes place in a California large city in the Bay Area where I went to college, and I know, this sort of thing is really common in the US and doesn't make it any less scary though. So I'm telling this as a sort of cautionary tale and also as a personal, story time and let's not meet story. Before we dive into it, I just want to say that I love reading Reddit Let's Not Meet stories, spooky stories, scary ones, paranormal ones, and I love watching other people, read them on their channels, and doing that pretty frequently got me thinking about some of the crazy shit that's happened to me. I do have more stories like this. If you guys liked the video, then definitely let me know, and I would be happy to tell you guys some more of the crazy experiences I've had and maybe even read someone's or some other people's crazy stories, Let's Not Meet stories, really anything of the nature. Just let me know. Creepypastas are where it's at, and if you like them too, definitely give this video a thumbs up and hit the big subscribe button down below. But let's dive into it. This story that happened while I was in college. I was 21, and so it was about 2.5 years ago, and I used to be a bartender when I was in college. And so this was a Saturday night it was in the summer or the fall, and it was just like any other night. I went in around 4 p.m. to work, and we typically got off between 3 or 4 a.m., depending on your manager's mood and how quickly you could clean up and count your tips. So yeah, that night I remember it was pretty busy, and I had a friend behind the bar with me, so that was fun, and we made pretty good money. Everything was going well. I had a great night, and we got off early because there was 2 of us, able to clean up pretty quickly. And so after work, decided to go across the street and have a shot before we would all, head home or part our separate ways. And it was around 3, so, mind you, we all went in there and we were only able to really get one shot before they closed because it was so late. And still being amped from work, from the adrenaline and stress of running around and loud music bumping in your ears, none of us were tired, and so we decided to head to a friend's apartment. He lived less than a block away, just around the corner, so we're like, why not? And it's about 6 of us, some of the servers and bussers, all of us went together and we're hanging out. I remember I didn't stay that long because we just worked, a 12-hour shift. I was pretty tired, and it was 4 a.m. So stayed there for a little bit and hung out. I think I took one more shot, and then I called my Uber and decided to leave. And this is where things started to go downhill. So, being in a big city, it's pretty standard to see like crazy stuff and homeless people and, police, especially in the middle of downtown. And so I hugged everyone goodbye, and I went downstairs, and as soon as I came out the door, I noticed just some crazy scene was going on outside. There was cops everywhere. There was some guy yelling, and he was like running back and forth in the street. It was super weird. And so I was just like not trying to go anywhere near that, of course. And so I came out, and I'm looking for my Uber. I don't see him. He had sent me a text that said he was there, but I don't see him. So I, look around and look on the app. It gives you the little map, and I realize he's across the street. So I called him and I said, like, can you, come over to where I am? I don't really want to walk through this scene and all these cops. And he was a little bit was kind of rude, but he did it. So there, he came over to me, which was nice. And so he picks me up, and immediately when I get in the car and close the door, I will never forget, this sound was literally like a horror movie. There was this zap and then just this buzz that went all the way through the car as the door shut, and it sounded like I was locked in, like I said, something from a horror movie. I'll try to find a sound bite to share with you guys and play in the background. You might get that. But anyways, so I closed the door, there was the weird sound, and I immediately kind of gave me just an eerie feeling, like it didn't feel right. No cars ever made that sound. Like, tell me if you comment below if you've ever gotten in a car and that's a standard sound to hear. But so I'd never heard that before, and I get in the car, and I actually also decided to sit in the front seat.
I don't know, maybe I was a little buzzed, I'm not sure.
Sure, but I climbed into the front seat with this guy, so I'm sitting right next to him, and he immediately started just asking me weird questions like,
oh, are you drunk? Were you partying? Like, how drunk are you? Like, what were you doing tonight?
So I kind of gave him a short answer like, oh, I'm not drunk, you know, I'm a bartender and I just got off work and hung out with my friends for a little bit, and yeah, just trying to go home, pretty tired from the long shift. And so he was like, oh, okay, cool. And yeah, so he immediately continued down the street the way we were facing, which happened to be the opposite direction of my apartment. But I wasn't, you know, too weirded out by that because we were already facing that way. The whole cop scene was behind us. I didn't assume he was going to make a U-turn and head right back into that. I only lived about 5 blocks away too, so this was like a really, really short Uber ride. But I just, being so late at night, being a girl, living in downtown, I wasn't about to walk that far. So I'm in the car with him, and we're proceeding, you know, the opposite direction. And we pass a couple of turns where he could have easily, you know, turned and gone back. And I just thought, oh, he's really milking this, you know. I know the Uber driver taking forever. And so the whole time we're driving, he's shooting questions at me, talking. And I'm, you know, being nice, but I'm not giving him like the most details about my life because random Uber driver at 4 a.m. But he's continuing to go on and on and on. And I realize he finally turns right. And this happens to be the street where there was a freeway entrance, and that didn't even cross my mind, you know, that he would be going towards this freeway entrance. But we turn right, and I'm thinking, yeah, he's just gonna go down to the end of the road, make another right, and head back. And he's still going on, and I was kind of, you know, overly worried, maybe the weird sound, just a lot of things. Something in me was like telling me to be not on my phone and be paying attention to what's going on. So I was looking at his maps, and I remember his maps kept rerouting, which I thought was weird. I thought it was kind of odd, but who knows? I was pretty tired, and maybe that was normal for it to be rerouting, but it was rerouting, and it actually rerouted to the freeway. And like, I see him getting over all the way to the left and starting to speed up. And I remember I was so caught off guard by this and just like, whoa, what's happening? I think I yelled it. You're going the wrong way and we need to turn right. My house is literally like 4 blocks the other direction. Where are you going? I just stared at him, and I remember he gave me just the most evil look. Maybe I was just on edge, but he stared at me, and he didn't say anything. And he got all the way into the right lane. He turned right, and it was about 5 minutes, I think, back to my house. It was an incredibly short ride, but it felt like an eternity. Believe me, if you've ever been in a situation like that, I'm sure you know, but it felt like forever. And we finally pull up to my complex, and the whole time it had been silent after that happened. And I I go to get out. I hear the weird buzz again. Ugh. I get out of the car. I think I flung the door open. I was about to just run away. And this guy turns to me and says,
"See, I got you home safely."
and it was in the most just like monotoned, like creepiest way possible. And he just stared at me. And I think I just slammed his door shut and ran inside. I used my key card, went up the elevator, and just sat in my house for maybe like 10 minutes, and then decided to send a message on the actual, the Lyft or the Uber messenger or whatever, and I just reported the guy because that was really off-putting to me. I know nothing happened, thank God. I feel like so many things went my way that night. Imagine if somebody, you know, more intoxicated got in the car, or just somebody that wasn't paying attention to what was happening. Things could have gone south really quickly. And so, yeah, I'm really thankful that that didn't happen, but it was still pretty scary. And I've had like other friends tell me crazy stories like that too, or, you know, more off-putting things even happened, and I've seen crazier stories online, so I know mine wasn't the craziest, but cautionary tale to girls out there riding in Ubers alone. You can never be too safe, and I've actually never taken one alone since then because you just never know, and that was just kind of traumatizing, a little bit scary. So yeah, you can never be too safe.
To the Uber driver who tried to abduct me, let's never meet again.
If you guys liked this video, I know it's a little different than other ones I've posted on my channel, or if you want to hear more about Let's Not Meet stories, then definitely give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you on the next one.